first thing I become aware of as soon as I'm awake in the morning is, okay, my identity and my issues, problems, my agenda for the day, the identity is there immediately. So it's like that gap between the question of, are you aware, and the answer. It seems like that moment of realizing that you're awake in the morning before the identity catches up and takes over. Can you offer something maybe to do at that moment to try to stretch it a little? And
yes, yes.
It seems like an opportune moment every day to practice
yes.
this. You know.
You see, every time you say to yourself, "Am I aware?" The mind goes silent. Because in order to go to the place of being aware, we go out of the mind, we go to the experience of being aware. So the question, am I aware? We may think about it a bit, the mind may go round the subject for a little bit, but at some stage, in order to find the answer to that question, the mind must come to an end. And it's in that ending of the mind that there is this non-objective realization, yes, I am aware. And the yes is, the mind then rises again and formulates the answer. So the mind formulates the question, it thinks about it, it goes quiet. Then there is the experience of being aware, and then the mind rises again to formulate the answer, yes. So in that timeless because the mind is not present, in that timeless pause in between the question and the answer, there is the living experience of being aware. And that is like falling asleep while remaining awake. It's like going into deep sleep in the waking state. And you can do that any time. You can be walking down the street. The circumstances don't require your mind to be focused on an object or a situation, and your mind can just pose the question, am I aware? And then the mind goes on this little journey, and at a certain point the mind has to come to an end in order to answer that question. In that timeless moment, we drop out of time and space. We visit eternity in that moment. We drop out of the mind and the body. We go to the same place we go to in deep sleep. And we can go there any time we want. It's totally available. It's available 24/7 to everybody. So just get in the habit of punctuating your day. Whenever there is a moment of when your attention is available, that is when circumstances don't require your attention to be focused on an object or a situation, just get in the habit of pausing and asking yourself the question, am I aware? And allowing that question to take you to the experience of being aware. The experience of being aware of being aware. And stay there. Rest there. Until the phone goes or your boss walks through the door or whatever it is, and then you have to start paying attention again. So, but you can do this, just make a habit of doing this. When you fall asleep at night, as you're lying there in bed, just ask yourself the question, am I aware? And this time it's not necessary for the mind to formulate the answer. You just go to the experience of being aware. When I say go to, you understand what I mean. You be the knowing of being aware. And just stay there. Fall asleep like that.
So it seems like in asking that question, you evoke a process that takes you there.
It starts as a process. The process is only in the mind.
Right.
But so the mind, when we ask the question, am I aware? The mind, and I think this is probably not the case for most of us here, but a lot of people who are not so familiar with this terminology, if you ask them, are you aware, they would start thinking about it to begin with. They might have to go round the subject matter for a while with their thoughts. But sooner or later, if they were clear about the question, am I aware, their thoughts would have to arrive at the doorway with I am aware written above it. The mind would have to go through that doorway to find out, am I aware? And as it goes through that doorway, it ceases to be mind. It's like the moth that longs for the flame. The moment it touches the flame for which it longs, it ceases to be a moth. It becomes the flame. That is the moth's way of knowing the flame, by becoming it. So the mind that wants to know, am I aware, circles around the house. It comes to the door with I am aware written. As it goes through the door, it ceases to be mind and becomes, or rather is realized to be, pure awareness. Now, for those of us here, for most if not all of us here, when we ask the question, am I aware, I don't think any of us have to go on a very long journey, because we're familiar with this. We've all been asking ourselves these kind of questions for some time. So we ask ourselves the question, am I aware? We don't go to the sensation at the soles of our feet and deduce from that I am aware. We don't go to our thoughts. We go to the experience of being aware. It's so accessible. It's the most accessible experience there is. And it's just there, wide open. The doorway is wide open. 24/7. Just become accustomed to going through the doorway and use as an aid this question, am I aware, which is a kind of modern version of who am I? And I think a more effective and more direct version. I don't mean by that to by that to disparage the question, who am I? It is also a very potent question, but it's a question that has been overused and has been misunderstood for so long that we need a fresh approach to the same question. And this question, am I aware? It's so direct that there can be no misunderstanding about it. It's so clean, it's so clear, it's so straight. It just takes us straight there. Just whenever you feel inclined, just ask yourself this question and go there. Go there, be that. Just get used to being that. And begin to set up camp there until your mind is required by either for practical purposes or celebratory purposes to rise out of its source and take form and go outwards towards an object. That's fine. You let it do that, and then just become accustomed to allowing the mind to sink into the heart over and over and over again until the mind's natural place to rest is not on an object, but in its source, in the heart. That doesn't mean that it can't easily rise and leave home or appear to leave home and go out and attend to objects, but the place it likes to be is home. It's like someone who, they move into a lovely apartment and their friends ask them out all the time, and this person says, no, I like staying at home now. I don't want to come out every evening of the week. I have this lovely home now. I just like living at home with my partner quietly. I don't want to go out all the time. It's like that. The mind gets used to staying at home. It's peaceful there. It's comfortable there for the mind. It's so busy, it's so agitated that with the mind's always entertaining objects. It's so, this life the mind leads of seeking and resisting in relationship to objects, it's so exhausting for the mind. And when it discovers that it has a home, a place where it can rest, it's free, it doesn't get charged, it's easy, it's always available, just get used to it. Just get used to staying home.
Thank you.